Shut up and sit down.
Acid Rain World, Annex 2179, Toys Alliance, Boss Fight Studio, Hiya Toys, and Joytoy. These are to name but a few companies that have breathed new life into 1/18 scale action figures, accessories, and vehicles. These lines have grown popular due to the articulation, designs, and attention to detail that each company puts into their figures and products in general. More collectors around the world are beginning to take note and pay attention to what these companies have to offer. They are the reason why 1/18 scale communities are still thriving today. So with the increasing interest from collectors from around the world, the one common question that keeps coming up from new collectors wanting to get into these toy lines is, where can I buy that figure? If you've been asking that yourself, sit back, relax, and we'll go through a few options of where you can buy these wonderful toys. So Aliexpress is one of the first places I started to look for these toy lines, in particular Joytoy, as Awesome Action Toys had mentioned it in, I think, one of his videos, and also in the comments when I'd asked about it. And so I did a bit of research myself and found Aliexpress, which is simply like the Asian version of Amazon, really, where there are different shops there that sell things. But the one shop in particular that I found that was it was fairly new at the time when I discovered them is Ailinna Store. So Ailinna Store was fairly new. I think the first thing I bought from Aliexpress was through Flyima, which we'll get to after this, but Ailinna Store, in my opinion, is probably the best seller or shop on Aliexpress. Prices are great there. Some of the prices may have gone up since I first shopped with them, particularly for the UK, where there's a little tax bump now when you go to purchase, but the customer service there is the best. I believe Rudy Wong is in charge over there, who's also active in the communities, and they're great. Like, any problems you have, they'll solve. They're very nice, very good customer service there, and also inform you about new pre-orders and releases. In fact, I found out about the Steel Spear pre-orders before they actually were announced by Joytoy themselves. You get messages personally about new pre-orders and things that might interest you from your previous purchases. So here, this is all in pounds because I am in the UK, so obviously check for your local equivalent. But they've got a wealth of things here, primarily Joytoy, but other things also. As you can see here, the Fear 4 mech is available. They tend to have things on here earlier than a lot of other places. And in fact, this was the only place where I was able to find these guys, the maintenance team for in their single purchases. So here you go. All the other places I checked, you weren't able to buy the blind boxes in single single purchases. You could only get the sets. I think that might be due to the controversy that surrounded it with the blind box. So Ailinna was the only one brave enough, really, I think, to actually sell these. I bought one of this, the Team A, to see what I'll get there. But yeah, very simple to use, much like Amazon. They've got, you know, the usual kind of practices where, you know, they protect you and things like that with purchases. So I wouldn't worry just because they're, you know, if you are from the West and you're purchasing overseas, I wouldn't worry about purchasing from it, because I've bought, I think 50% of, or more than 50% of my Joytoy collection is actually from Ailinna's store or Aliexpress in general. So it's definitely worth checking out, particularly if you are into Joytoy stuff, because they've got practically everything there. And yeah, I've got great customer service. The prices might be better from if you are in the US. I think it's free shipping. So yeah, always worth checking out Ailinna's store, Aliexpress, to see what they've got to offer. So it is just the normal way to purchase, just add to cart, buy now, etc. And usually shipping times, they would ship pretty quickly. I usually get my orders within 2 weeks from China, so it's a really good service. Packaging is really done well as well, so you know, no damage to any boxes that I've had before, except for one, but I think that might be due to how old it was. It was quite an old release, the Grim Reapers I bought from them previously, but that's the only one. Oh, and the Black Hawks, I think that was another old release as well, so they might have had those on the shelves for quite a while. But other than that, all new releases I've got really early, definitely worth checking out. So yes, Ailinna's store on Aliexpress. There is an app you can get for Aliexpress, so you can download that, put your details in, and easy purchase. Flyimma or Flyimma is next. This is actually, I bought my first Joytoy purchase from the Flyimma store on Aliexpress. So they are on Aliexpress, but they also have their own store. I've recently went on to the main store simply because you can get sort of discounts that aren't on Aliexpress, and Awesome Action Toys, if you are following, you should follow, often has deals now with Flyima, so you can get money off things that he reviews, and there's some good deals there, usually limited though. At the moment he does have one for the Mech Maintenance Team B. If you're watching this in June, that was limited, where you can buy the 2 sets and then you get a free PLA figure, the new one. You get that free along with your purchase. Otherwise you can get, at the moment, 12% off the 2 packs or 10% off, so depending on, you know, what you want to get. Always worth having a look, because they've also got other deals going on too. I think, where was it, up here? Yeah, 50% off this one, making it $47.50, but I don't know if that's been cheaper elsewhere. But yeah, worth checking out the deals they've got here as well. They deliver very, very quickly. I had to pre-order through Block of Toys, I think, for ages, but then pre-ordered something from here just a few days before it was released, and they shipped it as soon as they got it, and I got it in just over a week, I think. Very good. I believe it's Andy, no, not Andy one. Sorry, I'm not sure who it is at Flyima, but I believe that they are the official store for Joytoy, much like Pier Club, but I'm not sure if that is sort of the same, because obviously Pier Club is for Acid Rain is actually on the packaging itself, but they only sell Joytoy here on Flyima, so always worth checking out what they've got. Let's see what this is. So this is normally $95 apparently, but yeah, the usual ways to pay, PayPal, things like that. I've never had any issues so far with purchasing from them. Again, I bought my first Joytoy figure, figure A, Hell's Fifth from the Aliexpress store, came packaged nicely. I've bought the Heavy Cavalry from here with the code from Awesome Action Toys, where I got a free mecha figure, and it also tells you the most recent purchases as well that people have been buying. They don't tell you who specifically has bought it, but letting you know that there are people about purchasing their stuff. So yeah, worth checking out, Flyima store. So go have a look. Always compare with other places, see what the best thing is for you. Here we go, there's some review bits here as well, so other users sharing their experience. The same with Ailinna as well, and Aliexpress. People, you know, they post pictures, their reviews of company, what they think, things like that. So Locker Toys is one I started using recently and have used quite a fair bit now. So there is a load of Joytoy stuff on here, amongst some other things as well. They've got their own zombie lab, and also they've got some boss fight studio stuff, Hiya toys, things like that. What's really good about Locker Toys though is their point scheme. So you'll come across this page first, which I thought was a bit confusing. I was like, well, where do I go to buy stuff? But simply just the online shop here. I believe they've also got warehouses in the US, so a lot of the new stuff will be shipped over there, and if you are in the US, you'll get it earlier than a load of other people. So these guys often do deals as well on their new releases. They had deals on the new Fear 3, the mech maintenance team, PLA Special Forces, and the new Grim Reaper pack as well, all 3 figures. They're limited deals though, so the deals on those are already finished, where you could have got them for a lot cheaper. I got the maintenance team B from here, and I also used my points from my previous purchase, because I got the Fear 2 from here, to knock down the price quite a bit. And then you accumulate points more, so then you can use those points that you accumulate on another purchase. The points are added onto your account once they've shipped the items, and you know, you can check your points and how much you could deduct them from your purchases whenever you want, essentially. But yeah, very good. So this on the mobile site, it's not as extensive as the website, but you can still get the normal things. Here you go, Joytoy, Zombie Lab. So I believe Locker Toys are responsible for Zombie Lab, and also they've got some accessories here that they've made as well. These, which look really good for your 1/18 scale figures. Some weapons you can purchase, and I believe they had a Knight of Asperity figure here. It was going for about 50 quid or dollars, can't remember, but it was a bit pricier than your normal, but might be gone now. Hiya toys, or Hiya toys. Yeah, so definitely worth checking out Locker Toys, particularly if you like buying quite a bit, because you can accumulate points. Let's just check Boss Fight Studio. So you can also get Boss Fight Studio from here. I got my female chrome blank from here. You guys see they've still got a few bit. I think they've got more here than they do on the actual Boss Fight Studio website, which is another place you can buy Boss Fight Studio figures from the actual Boss Fight website. That's a bit easier to navigate. I'm sure if you're from the US or the West, you might have ordered from there anyway. I know I got my Knight of Asperity figure from there originally, and then I got another one from eBay shortly after. So yeah, loads of good stuff to check through, and a good point system. There is delivery charges, but I think they try to minimize the cost of that if you buy a few things. So they're quite open to making things better for the consumer. So always again worth checking out if this might have the best deal for you. So I've got a few things there. Very popular though. So here the heavy flying cavalry is still sold out. A lot of the dioramas are sold out here as well. A lot of people go here, but I think primarily for the points, because it's a really good deal. You get a lot of money off when you use your points and just recycle, keep doing the same thing, accumulating more points, use those points towards another purchase. But you've got to get in there quick, and with those deals as well, they're limited pre-order deals that are over after like 10 days or 14 days or something like that. But yeah, good with deliveries. I think because they're so busy, they don't send them out as quickly as like your Flyima or Ailinna. So just be aware of that if you want your items really quickly. But very good place to get your 1/18 scale figures. No acid rain on here though, unfortunately, but we'll get to that soon. So next, sooner than soon, we've got Peer Club or Pocket in Action Club. This one I think has been the most confusing to kind of get around. You need your Google Translate on for Peer Club. They do have Joytoy here, but they're a bit more expensive. But this is primarily if you're looking for Acid Rain products, as they are the official store for Acid Rain and Annex 2179. The prices here tend to be cheaper than other places. However, the shipping, particularly of late, has been quite expensive. Like usually, well, before, like just actually earlier in the year, in fact, when I first started ordering stuff from here, the shipping and products, getting them together was a lot cheaper than getting from a big bad toy store. Now they're either on par or sometimes a bit more expensive, so it's worth checking what the shipping is along with the product, and then checking what that is against other places that you might be considering. But they do have the figures first, so are usually bound to send you the items before any other place. We had problems here in the UK as they weren't delivering to the UK from Taiwan. I believe Peer Club is in Taiwan from what I understand doing my research, and the Chunghwa post that they used previously there were problems with delivering there, and so prices have got been hiked up since for shipping, as I think they've had issues and they're using somewhere else. I have, however, recently purchased from them. I bought one of the Omanga fire troopers, and they shipped it straight away. So I'll probably just have to wait for that. That's probably going to take a bit longer than normal. But all the new Annex 2179 figures are here. They do 3 packs as well for those who want to army build, so you can get the 3 packs for a bit cheaper than normal, as opposed to purchasing separately. And yeah, this is the thing about Peer Club is that you do have to purchase it, as even pre-orders, you got to purchase it at the time you put it into your basket, and you put the pre-order through now, so it's a purchase right now. You've paid for it, so you don't have to worry about it later, and you do pay for the shipping at the time you purchase, so even if the prices go up later, you wouldn't then need to pay the shipping costs at that time. Because when I purchased my Camelbot Ajax earlier this year, it was at the cheaper rate, and then they just paid whatever they needed to get it to me. during the pandemic. So yeah, worth having a look on here. Again, so to actually navigate, let's say for instance you want to purchase, let's go for this, it's Papalotto, however you pronounce that, 3-pack. So when you get to here, you actually have to put for international user. You need to be signed on and stuff. You can use PayPal if you like, or you know, your card, whatever it is, and that'll then put into your box for international user, or the box your shopping cart. And then you just do the usual stuff. So you just have to use for international user, make sure you've got your translate on, because otherwise you might be confused looking around. But yeah, other than that, it is a lot easier than it first seems. I was a bit intimidated by it at first going onto the site, but I did that. I took the a dive and made my first purchase, and yeah, all went well. And here we have something that will be quite familiar to a few people, particularly if you're in the US, is Big Bad Toy Store. So this is probably the best place for a range of figures, not just 1/18 scale. As you can see, there's loads of different lines here. There's loads of different lines here, but they do have the new stuff, so they put them almost at the same time as Pier Club for Acid Rain stuff here. But they tend to be a bit more expensive. But obviously you've got to counter that with their shipping. The shipping in the US is like $4, I believe. In the UK, for the UK, it's £8 or $8, sorry, which is again great. And I don't know if they account the tax for us, but I don't get taxed when I get them delivered. I'm not sure how they're getting around that, or if it's just in the price that they're selling these for anyway, that they charge us. But a great place. I've used this a number of times now. In fact, this Pier Club and a shop on eBay, Buy Market in the UK, is where I get all my Acid Rain figures from, Toys Alliance figures or what have you. And yeah, this just got a whole load of, I mean, they've got the pile of loot thing that they use, which, you know, means you can have things in your pile of loot and accumulate them, ship them together, and you're bound to save on shipping. But yeah, prices tend to be a bit more expensive than the others that we've just gone through. Let's see, for Joytoy for instance, yeah, I mean, those prices are quite a bit, particularly when it's, you know, free shipping on the other ones that we've checked on. So again, but they are good. They do send relatively quickly, but it's whether or not they receive the items, because they're not in China, whereas Pier Club can send the Acid Rain stuff fairly quickly. But again, worth doing your due diligence and checking prices and how much they are, getting the best deal for yourself. But no problems here. The usual way to purchase things, of course, on here too, PayPal or what have you. So those are a few of the outlets I have been using since collecting these figures. I'd like you guys to chime in the comments below and give us your experience with any of these outlets, or maybe ones I've not mentioned that you think are good to have a look at. And in the part 2 of this, I would like to include the community's experience, what you guys think, and obviously I'll you know, put in as detailed as you want, and I'll put that in the video, and we'll share our information with everyone of where you can find the best prices and deals for these figures, because obviously this is a very expensive hobby, and it would be good for us to share information with how we can make it better for ourselves and each other, to find out what the best deals would be online to make this somewhat more affordable. Anyway, thank you so much guys for tuning in and the support on the channel. More videos will be coming soon, and I'll scale you later.